Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social session of emerging political trends of coalition government. Yesterday, I was discussing with you regarding the coalition government. Coalition government बोले तो क्या है जी? What do you mean by coalition government? Coalition government mean if a single party doesn't get majority बोले तो out of 545 seats में अगर majority एक single party को नया है तो ओके दूसरे MPs दूसरे पार्टी को मिला के नहीं तो उसके सपोर्ट से अगर गवर्नमेंट फॉर्म करे तो देन इट इज कॉल्ड एज ए कोएलिशन गवर्नमेंट. So in 1990s were the years of very significant change in the post-independence India because it was a period where Congress single party domination has come to an end, and with the transformation to a competitive multi-party system, it became near impossible for any party to win a majority of seats and form a government on its own. It was in 1989 all governments had formed at the national level have been either coalition or minority governments. पूरे 1989 के बाद जो गवर्नमेंट्स फॉर्म हुए थे वो पूरे either they were minority governments or the coalition government. A number of national or regional parties had come together to form into an alliance, and at the center this meant that the political ideologies and programs of a number of parties had to be accommodated, and a common minimum program had to be arrived at, and thus no party could pursue its extreme agendas and had to tone down their approaches. So while this enabled the central government to become more sensitive to multiple issues, multiple viewpoints in politics and policy matters, it also caused considerable instability also, because किसी को भी पसंद ना आया तो उसका सपोर्ट निकाल दिए समझो, देन गवर्नमेंट गिर जाती. अगर कोई एक बड़ी डिसीजन करना हो बोले तो देन इमीडिएटली इफ एनी पार्टी डजंट लाइक द गवर्नमेंट वुड फॉल डाउन. So because of that they became more sensitive to the political viewpoints, different political viewpoints, and there was also instability in the government functioning, and even small parties also tried to gain over undue advantage at the withdrawal of their support could cause the fall of the government. Sometimes this also called policy paralysis. This is a very important term, children. Policy पैरालिसिस बोलते हैं इसको. वाई पैरालिसिस आया तो कुछ काम करती, हाथ पैर काम करती, इधर पॉलिसी भी पैरालिसिस आ गई. क्यों? बिकॉज द गवर्नमेंट इज इनस्टेबल. गवर्नमेंट कैनॉट मेक a very strong decision because of its minority, okay, because it doesn't enjoy the majority in the house, and even a small party also can threaten it, okay. उसको डरा सकते, अगर ये डिसीजन ले लिया तो मैं गवर्नमेंट से बाहर जाता हूँ बोल के डरा सकते. उसके वजह से द गवर्नमेंट बिकम्स वेरी सेंसिटिव एंड बिकम्स इनस्टेबल टू मेक डिसीजंस, एंड दिस हैज बीन वेल एक्सप्लेन्ड विद दिस वर्ड कॉल्ड एज अ पॉलिसी पैरालिसिस. As a coalition government could not implement any policy which called for serious change for fear of withdrawal of support by one or the other political parties, and while the early coalition governments are highly unstable, मगर अब जो गवर्नमेंट है नरेंद्र मोदी का गवर्नमेंट जो अब आया, दैट इज़ अ एनडीए गवर्नमेंट. ये एग्रीकल्चरल रिफॉर्म्स एक्ट पास करने के बाद बहुत सारे उसके फ्रेंडली पार्टीज जो थे वो बाहर आ गए. शिवसेना होने दो, नहीं तो अकाली दल होने दो, शिरोमणि अकाली दल होने दो, और बहुत सारे पार्टीज जो है वो गवर्नमेंट से बाहर आ गए. फिर भी दे आर इन गवर्नमेंट. वाई? बिकॉज दे एंजॉय द मेजॉरिटी. If they are in minority, the government would not have taken such a hard decision to implement these agricultural laws. So very early, while the early coalition governments were highly unstable but did not last their full term, the later coalitions have put in multiple mechanisms like a common minimum program and coordination committees to bring coordination and greater understanding between the partners. Later coalitions which were led by BJP called as NDA and led by Congress called as UPA was the first coalition government, and they got re-elected. UPA means United Progressive Alliance बोलते. इसका जो लीडर है UPA कांग्रेस है, कांग्रेस लीड करती, और दूसरा जो है NDA ये बीजेपी लीड करती. सो यूनाइटेड प्रोग्रेसिव अलायंस, नेशनल डेमोक्रेटिक अलायंस, ये दो पार्टियों का अलायंस है, ओके. बहुत सारे पार्टियां रहते हैं मगर मेन पार्टीज जो है ये है. So in tomorrow's class, we shall learn about the left turn of the West Bengal government in the next class. Thank you.